Natalie Portman getting the crowd fired up at Bank of California Stadium, part of the great ownership group for Angel City FC. Matt Peterson with Lori Lindsay. Let's look at the starting lineup for Angel City FC. It is unchanged after last week's win at Washington.
Yeah, and Lucy making her second straight start as in that left back position. Weatherholt will provide the balance centrally, allowing for McCaskill to have a bit more of a free roll. And then up top, Simone Charlie, she certainly will be the target, and her ability to hold up the ball will allow for Preston Indo to link play.
And for Kansas City Current, 3 changes from last week's team, which drew at Orlando.
And Nolf Edmonds will provide the width, but they're going to have to pick and choose their times in order to not get caught in transition. And then on the front line, Hamilton and Bennett, they combined for 2 goals and assists last game. They have to be active in order to pull out Angel City defensively.
8 players out for Kansas City tonight, including 4 in COVID protocols, including Lola Bonta and Haley Mays. But Kansas City Current, some quality results, especially in the Challenge Cup, and they'll look to get the job done tonight. They'll have assistant coach Lloyd Yaxley in charge tonight. The head man, Matt Potter, did not travel due to COVID protocols.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game for the Kansas City, just with the amount of injuries they've had, but also the players out due to COVID protocol besides Matt Potter. So the first 15 minutes will be imperative for them just to manage the game, make sure they stay compact defensively, and then look to see if they can play in over the top in transition.
Unchanged for Angel City FC under Freya Kuhn in her first year last year with Gotham. And it's been a team that's kind of a predictable starting lineup, and they've been healthy, and 6 points from 9 available points to start the season.
And the consistency, though, for the starting lineup for Angel City has proven to be what's allowed them to build momentum. They've gotten to collectively as a group on the same page. They've stayed compact defensively, and this is a must-win for them. You're playing at home in front of this massive crowd. We know about the energy from the initial game of the season against North Carolina, how loud the stadium can get. And when you're playing at home, you have to pick up points, especially in this league.
More than 15,400 season ticket holders at last count, probably growing by a few hundred since that last tally. But one of the best atmospheres in all the NWSL. And in this busy part of the NWSL season, Lori, we've seen midweek games, teams going cross country. It's in many ways a battle of depth, and we'll see both squads on display tonight.
And that's why the onus is on Angel City. Again, you're playing at home in front of your crowd. There's a lot of energy, and you have that momentum. You had a big win last week against Washington Spirit. Kristen Press with the game winner. And now it's about collecting points early on, because neither team really has a ton of depth. So when you have a little bit of momentum in this league, you've got to take it. Got to ride the wave.
We see Kansas City Current out there. 2 of the native Angelinos unable to come tonight. Very unfortunate. Lola Bonta from Rancho Cucamonga, Haley Macy's from Ventura, both out due to COVID protocols. Ricardo Fierro in charge of this one. And here we go from Bank of California Stadium. It's the first ever meeting between Angel City FC and Kansas City Current. Angel City in black, Kansas City in the red uniforms. And Lori Lindsay, what are you watching for early on in this one?
Well, the first 15 minutes, how both of these teams manage the game. They're both excellent when they have a quick tempo in their play, look to get forward quickly. It's really going to be about who can manage, making sure they don't put themselves in unpredictable, situations early on defensively.
Good first touch from Maddie Nolf. It's her 3rd appearance in all competitions. 11 minutes in the regular season. She played once in the Challenge Cup. The former Penn State player getting an opportunity there, and I think the confidence on the road is huge for Kansas City tonight. 2 leads last week in Orlando. Kansas City led 1-0 and 2-1. Could not hold on. A 95th minute equalizing penalty from Tony Presley. It's the 2nd straight game Kansas City has conceded in second half stoppage time.
Yeah, and the 90 minutes performance is going to be key for Kansas City tonight. Just making sure they don't concede early, they don't give any silly fouls or risky balls away in their defensive half.
Oh, great work. Desiree Scott earns a free kick. Foul by Kristen Press. Scott wears the captain's armband tonight. There's Press, had a great goal her last time out. The game-winning goal against Washington, about a 35-yard run from a restart, found her on the left channel, and she did all the work. Kristen Edmonds will leave it here. Alexis Loera with the restart. It's a good ball driven right towards the top of the box. Current first to respond, and finally away from Tyler Lucy. And here we see the Current continue to press high. It's been a good start for the visitors. Pickett. Back to Scott. We've seen this back three system shifting between a back three and a back five, depending on the game state for Kansas City Current this season. Here comes Angel City on the break. 3 versus 4. Good diagonal ball. Headed straight in the air. Central. Press applies pressure, and it's cleared to Weatherholtz. Spencer. Comfortable across the back.
And this is the area of the game where Angel City has improved immensely since the Challenge Cup, just moving the ball quicker at a better tempo. A lot of that has to do, though, with the midfielders of Weatherholt and Recaro centrally getting a little bit better understanding of what Freya Kuhn, their head coach, wants from them. Weatherholt more the traditional hold, allowing for Recaro to be able to push higher up with McCaskill. In the Challenge Cup, both of them getting caught in more the defensive role, not knowing who was going to build out, who was going to get on the ball, made it too predictable. Slight change, though, has allowed them to be able to build out and get Weatherholt faced up more.
It's on here for Angel City. Recaro, dispossessed by ball. Lucy for Press. That was the area of space where she operated to score the goal against Washington last weekend. Weatherholtz. Good defending from Kansas City Current. Last pass came from McCaskill. Yeah, this team, Lori, conceded, tied for the most goals in the Challenge Cup along with Houston, but only 2 allowed through 3 regular season games. And in our conversation with the coaching staff this week, it's that change in that defensive midfield position and just a collective defending mentality.
Yeah, there's some slight adjustments. You know, we've seen throughout as well the opening games of this regular season. Some of the teams that had a little bit more rest outside the Challenge Cup, able to regroup, kind of find a bit more of their principles in play and what they're looking for. And especially this Angel City team, it's really proven fruitful for them to be able to just continue to build those relationships, making sure that everyone's on the same page.
We see Lucy trying to establish the width on this left side. For now, Angel City moves up the right. Well-weighted ball. A.D. French comfortable in front of Recaro. Good press from Kristen Press to win it back for Angel City FC. Spencer pushes forward. She's on the ball here with options. Spencer's in the box. Nice recovery from Scott to dispossess Spencer.
And it's a good look at Spencer and what she provides from that right back position. We talked about it in the open, Matt, just her ability to get forward, and has really done such a good job transitioning from an attacking player her entire career to being the consistent right back now for Angel City. And she certainly gets higher up the field, provides numbers up situations, but that's something that Kansas City needs to look for. As soon as the ball gets turned over, can they find that space that Spencer leaves vacant?
Nice work from McCaskill to find Endo. And we're seeing Kansas City a little sloppy in its own half, similar to Orlando last weekend in the build-up phase.
Yeah, and I've been just watching them in terms of their formation right now, because they have traditionally throughout the Challenge Cup in the opening parts of this season been in a 3-back. At times, it looks like a 5-back hybrid. Does look like Edmonds is on the far left side, typically has been on the right side. Almost in a traditional 4-back at times, but Nolf and Edmonds will push forward.
Scott did well there under pressure. McCain comes away with it. for Kansas City Current. Year 2 for Kansas City Current. In our conversation this week with Lloyd Yaxley, the assistant coach, he said, in many ways, it's year 1. When you think about everything the club went through last year, a short run up to the 2021 season, so many new players for 2022, and still trying to build that new identity.
Yeah, so many new faces. And then when you look at how aggressive they were in the offseason, Chris and Nally Long, the owners for Kansas City, going out and getting players like Lynn Williams, Sam Mewis to bolster this roster, and unfortunately having to deal with some of those injuries to some really impactful players. You're having to rotate players around, look at different formations to see where you can be successful. And this is a team that's still really trying to find their way in the regular season. Great start to the Challenge Cup. Lost in the semifinal to North Carolina, but have yet to get a win in the regular season. So this is also a must-win for them. They go on the road on Wednesday against OL Reign. Need to pick up some points in order just to continue to have that confidence within their squad.
A good first touch there from Charlie. Charlie does really well, leaves it for Press, who picks her head up. And Williams out for the season. Sam Mewis, her return unknown, but she was on the field for Walnuts tonight. I think a great sign for Kansas City Current. Her knee injury taking longer than she expected to recover from. Mallory Weber out for the year, a big piece in the back. Good here from Kansas City. Hamilton goes down. Referee had a good view. Free kick given to Kansas City Current.
Well, and already we're seeing great pressure from Kansas City Current. They're at their best when they do press higher up the field. It's good positioning from Kristen Hamilton just to look to find that space. And there's Jasmine Spencer trying to make her way back. Does foul Hamilton in the back. And this is a dangerous area for Kansas City right outside the box.
Good first time ball from Alexis Loera to find the feet of Hamilton in a good spot.
And those are the areas where Kansas City do want to turn Angel City over. As soon as they win it back, can they look to play a forward pass?
Loera or Bennett? Who will it be? It's over the wall and kept out. Just a touch from Haracic.
And that is a huge save from Haracic, because this is a good-looking free kick from Loera. Doesn't look like it has much pace on it, but there is enough bend. Looks like it's headed to the upper corner. Haracic has it read the entire way, just gets enough on it to flick it over the crossbar.
Loera comes over to take this corner kick after she was denied by Didi Haracic. Here's the corner. Headed away. Haracic has been outstanding last year with Gotham. Before that, Washington, 9 caps with Bosnia and Herzegovina. An anchor at the back early on for Freya Koum and Angel City FC. Hard for her to see that too, with the wall in front of her, just bending around the wall. Spectacular free kick from Alexis Loera.
And it did look like she got a good, strong hand on it, just enough, though, to at least put it over and out, keep the game tied 0-0 in the opening 10 minutes. Those are the little details, Matt, though, in terms of not just the team on the field, in terms of the field players of keeping compact defensively for Angel City, but Haracic raising her game as well, making some big saves to keep them in the game.
All the way back to Edie French. Elizabeth Ball under some pressure. A good turn there. Possibilities here for Kansas City Current. 4 in the attack. Look at this long run from Pickett. Pickett tripped up by McCaskill. She'll be booked. Another free kick opportunity coming. Pickett clutching at her right ankle.
Yeah, you hate to see Pickett down, holding her ankle. But this is exactly where they want her, picking up the ball deep, getting faced up and running at this back line. It's a good little spin move. She feels the pressure from Jasmine Spencer, uses it to be able to bypass, just gets clipped in the end from McCaskill. Good work back, though, from McCaskill. Fortunately, though, draws the foul after a dangerous free kick moments ago from Loera.
It has to be her again, right? After that last hit. Standing over this one. What a run from Pickett. That's exactly what Lloyd Yaxley told us this week they wanted from her. They said she's been good running in that middle portion of the field, but taking it into the final third like she did.
Yeah, and find players that can step up even more. Hamilton, Bennett doing a really good job being active up top. Their partnership coming along, but they need more players to be impactful and affect the final third.
Edmonds leaves it. Loera again. This one off the top of the wall and out for a corner kick. The wall does its job. Alexis Loera from Colorado played at Santa Clara. 2 well-taken free kicks, 1 kept out by Didi Haracic. Now she'll take her second corner kick. Loera ready to serve. This one a low delivery. Cleared, but back to Loera. That's a good ball headed out. Nice work in the air from the former triple jumper, Simone Charlie, rising at the backside of the box.
And a good battle between those two. And this is a really good start from Kansas City, away from home, high energy, looking to press early on, making it difficult for Angel City to be able to build out. But with not a lot of depth, the injuries and the COVID protocol that we talked about, Matt, they're going to have to pick and choose their times when they're going to press, because the last thing they're going to want to do is get this game stretched, and then you have the likes of Simone Charlie, Kristen Press on the other end, who are willing runners to be able to get in behind for Angel City.
As we said, 8 out tonight for Kansas City Current, 4 in COVID protocol, including Lola Bonta and Haley Mace. Jada Talley was signed this week as a replacement player. Homecoming for her. She's from Corona, California, and played her final college season at Southern California. Well, Laura, you mentioned it right at the top. First 15 minutes would be critical for both teams. We're about 14 minutes in. Assess what you've seen so far.
Well, I like the start from Kansas City. They know that they need to get points. They need to put some performances together, and especially starting the game strong. A lot of energy. Have a good game plan so far. Just need to make sure that they stay connected between the lines, because it's these runs right here from Charlie that could cause some issues.
Charlie gets on the end of it. She stays on her feet. Adie French closed it well, and she comes up with the save.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, just not getting caught in between two worlds. If you're gonna press, you've got to get pressure on the ball, deny this service over the top, because Charlie can affect the game with her ability to get in behind, the pressure that she puts on. Adie French does well, comes off her line. Good pressure to cut down the angle in the end, but that's the last thing you want to get yourself into throughout 90 minutes if you're Kansas City, is chasing after players like Charlie and Press.
Pickett stayed onside. Central for Hamilton. And back wide here to Nolf. Nolf. Good win from Ricaro. And she'll clear. Another foot race. Here's ball. Across the back with Taylor Leach. Kansas City has brought the energy. Many would expect them to sit back and absorb and kind of just grow into the game, but they've been very energetic in the early going. Good work in transition from Kansas City. They win it back from Endo. Lucy pushes forward. Nice work from Pickett on the defensive end.
And there has to be some recognition from Angel City that Nolf is just playing in her second game of the regular season, only 11 minutes so far in these opening matches of 2022. So how can they get Kristen Press faced up 1v1, or especially when you get Nolf to pull out defensively and then play Press in behind?
Had it clear by ball. Pickett couldn't settle. McCaskill does. Wide for Spencer. Spencer's cross headed straight in the air by Ball. She got there ahead of Charlie. Great defensive header from Ball. Pressure applied. They go across the back. That's Vanessa Gilles. had the first ever goal for Angel City, a header. Very first game. Hamilton tracking back to help out.
And that's something I think we're going to see all game. Hamilton working on both sides of the ball, just making sure with her experience that she's helping back defensively. Already really good energy from Kansas City on both sides of the ball. It's a second ago when we saw the delivery from Jasmine Spencer, the amount of numbers in the box for Kansas City, committed to make sure that there's not a clear look for Angel City on goal. Credit to them early on. Good start.
It's a good win in midfield from Alexis Loera. Return ball just a bit heavy. Into the path of Elise Bennett. Bennett had her first pro goal against Orlando last week, 78th minute. Now, Bennett's been an impressive player so far for Kansas City Current. Also had the assist on Hamilton's second goal, which gave Kansas City a late lead. Good win. Desiree Scott's been excellent here in the first 18 minutes.
Yeah, that was just a good look at Kansas City and how they're lined up in a 4-2-3-1 now. You have Desiree Scott and Loera just sitting in those two holding mid positions, making sure they screen the back line, and then it allows for Nolf and Edmonds at times to be able to get higher up the field because you do have the block of four centrally. The positioning of Loera and Desiree Scott throughout this match is going to be critical because at times they're going to have to sit back into the back line in these transitional moments.
Free kick given. Pass was too long. That's Pickett tracking back. She's been good on the offensive end and hustling back in those transition moments as well. Current push forward with a lot of players for this restart. Edmonds will restart things for Kansas City. Short here to this near side, Alexis Loera. Won by McCaskill, she wants it back. Wide for Lucy, good first touch. And a throw into Angel City. You can hear the voice of Lloyd Yaxley on the Kansas City sideline saying don't release too early. There he is, 5 years with Orlando, first year with Kansas City. Filling in for Matt Potter, the head coach who did not travel due to COVID protocols this week.
Lloyd Yaxley, very familiar with the NWSL, then with Orlando, Washington Spirit. So a lot of time in this league, knows the players, knows the teams. And when you have a Kansas City team that, regardless of the formation, understands the principles, then it's easy to plug and play who's going to fill into where. And again, mentioning the injuries and the COVID protocol that they're being hit with right now. Good 20 minutes for this team on the road, who have yet to get a win so far in the regular season, but understand players coming in, know their roles, know what it takes. Now it'll be about seeing this out, just again, managing certain aspects of this game, staying compact defensively, but when they can, go forward quickly.
Weather hope for Spencer. That's good work. Hamilton on the far side. And our conversation with him this week, we asked about how much does it change with no Lynn Williams, no Sam Ewis at the moment. He said, of course it changes, the two great players out, but we're not going to change entirely our principles of play. And they're still trying to instill that language, that vernacular, if you will, as it's won here by Simone Charlie. Charlie for Press. Press lays it back. Good closeout from Scott, deflected shot, settled by Nolf, and she clears. And it seems like with the new technical staff understanding when we tell the players this is what we mean. When we tell them that, this is what we're asking for. Delayed free kick given to Kansas City Current.
There's moments right now where Angel City, I still feel like they can get Kristen Press to stay a bit wider, get her faced up with Nolf on this right-hand side. to see if she can take on 1v1. We see how critical she has been and clinical she can be in and around the box, scoring the game winner last week against Washington Spirit when she gets faced up 1v1. Right now, early runners, they're pinching in centrally. It's cutting down the space for Angel City when they're in the attack. Bit more patience to circulate the ball around. See if they can pull out Kansas City defensively.
Another corner kick coming for Kansas City. It's Elise Bennett. Played at Washington State.
Well, Matt, when you talk about understanding roles, Elise Bennett has been able to come in, and what a player she has been, what an impact she's made. Really turned the game around last week against Orlando for them with a goal and assist. Starting to see that partnership with Kristen Hamilton come alive.
Loera from the corner. Not cleared. McCain trying to turn. Her cross is blocked. Shoulder to shoulder press in McCain. It's a throw in for Kansas City. Press thought she was fouled. And Laura, it certainly feels like Kansas City's feeding off this atmosphere.
You know, I was just thinking about that too, Matt, because this is like a difficult place to come play, but it's also exciting because for some of these players, this is the biggest crowd that they've played in front of. And we've typically seen that in the past with Portland Thorns at Providence Park. It can be a very exciting place, but it can also be intimidating. But that's something that Angel City is going to need to be aware of because teams are going to come in and be fired up. They lost their last home game against Orlando. An early goal from Sydney LaRue. And then we're able to hold on to the win. So at times, Angel City is going to have to play almost like they're away when they're at home just to manage the game, make sure that they continue to keep the ball, possess it when necessary, but don't give any easy opportunities away. Relieve pressure when necessary.
There's press. Back for Riquero. McCaskill. Excellent. Off to the right. It's Endo. Endo against Edmonds. Again, Scott. So many interventions here in the first half.
But it's a really good positioning from Savannah McCaskill. Doesn't drift into the space, just stays out, allows the ball to come to her. She's able to get faced up, and that allows them to utilize the width and create the attack. Positioning from McCaskill is going to be important throughout this 90 minutes. Don't get sucked in. A lot of numbers centrally for both teams.
Simone Charlie. Runs out of room. Good defending from Taylor Leach. Stood her up on the end line. Kansas City throw-in. First ever meeting between Kansas City Current and Angel City FC. Edmonds will throw it in. Celebrate a birthday tomorrow. McCaskill. Pickett, good touch for Hamilton. It's on here for Kansas City Current. Hamilton, her shot blocked. She gets her own rebound. Soft pass cleared by Spencer.
And I'm not sure that she knew that Nolf was coming on the right-hand side with how loud the stadium can be. But Nolf's got to be screaming at those moments. Even number situation. Hamilton opts to go for the shot herself.
Halfway clear. That's a decent hit on the half volley from Alexis Loera, who's been very confident here in the first half. More and more promising signs, Laura, for Kansas City Current.
Well, they're doing a good job of picking their moments of when to press and committing numbers forward and locking Angel City in.
Lucy. Felt the pressure somewhat from Pickett. It's a throw into Kansas City. Can they sustain this energy over 90 minutes?
Well, I certainly think they can in moments, right? I mean, that's where you have to, you can bring the same energy and drop back a little bit more defensively and stay compact at times and look to play in transition, or you can step up and stay compact and put pressure on them higher up, which we've seen these first 25 minutes. You know, with not a lot of depth on their bench or options really with players that have had played a ton of minutes, you have to manage the game in different ways, and that's by either dropping defensively or at times keeping possession as well, circulating the ball around, forcing Angel City to have to chase.
Good composure from Leach to chest that down and keep possession. Nolf. Back for Scott, picked up by McCaskill.
And Kansas City will be fine with this, just disrupting play, not afraid to get into tackles, not afraid to foul in less risky areas. Desiree Scott doesn't look like she's trying to foul McCaskill, but it ends up being an opportunity for them to be able just to get back into their shape and deny any sort of rhythm for Angel City.
Good pressure from Scott against Lucy. Lucy wins the header. Kristen Press back to goal. Good help from Scott to get a foot in. It rolls to ball. Turnover. Angel City has Ruggiero. Space for Ruggiero, off for Lucy.
Just a couple touches right there that have let Lucy down, just rolled out of play.
Bennett leaves it for Maddie Nolf. From Omaha, Nebraska, played at Penn State. Gets the start tonight, her first start of the season at all competitions. Addie McCain will leave it here. And now one of these moments you mentioned, Lori, let the air kind of roll out of the game, catch your breath, take the crowd out of it somewhat.
And more so for Angel City, this is when they just need to keep their composure because there isn't much rhythm to their game right now. Kansas City doing a good job of just disrupting play when needed, but also denying any sort of central passes. They're getting back into a block, and it's making it difficult for Angel City to be able to play through them. So just stay composed, stay calm when you win the ball, and make sure you connect your passes, because right now there's just some easy turnovers that's playing right into the hands of Kansas City.
That bounces right in the middle of the field. How about that from Pickett? Juggling show in the center of the field. She is brimming with confidence tonight. Scott picks up the loose ball. Good step from Lucy. McCaskill, direct ball in front of Charlie. Charlie in a foot race with ball. Ball got there first, and then she was fouled by Charlie.
No, that's a tough call. Really good work from Elizabeth Ball to make sure that she gets her body in front of Simone Charlie to deny an opportunity on goal. But then the two of them just collide. I feel like this should have just been allowed to play on, because right here, both of them just get caught in the momentum as Ball. Oh, and that's a really unfortunate yellow card, in my opinion, on Simone. Whoa, on Simone Charlie. I feel like she got the raw deal of that.
You think the yellow card is for the foul or perhaps the reaction towards the referee?
Well, I think it's certainly for the foul, even though it wasn't a foul.
Yes.
I mean, certainly both of those players going head to head and just colliding the momentum. It's a really good battle between the two.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lori, for what it's worth. I mean, two players going for the ball. She kicked the ball after the play was done. That most likely is the reason for the yellow card. Lively start to this, the first ever meeting between these two sides, and watch the reaction from Charlie.
Yeah, and certainly not happy with the call. Just a little kick at the end that gets her the yellow card.
She's in the book along with Savannah McCaskill for Angel City FC. Back all the way. Ara Cheecher might have the biggest moment in this game so far. Her fingertip save on the free kick from Alexis Loera. Spencer, back for Charlie. Charlie against Ball. Charlie on her feet, saved by French. One-on-one, AD French denies Simone Charlie.
And it's a credit from Jasmine Spencer that spins and then plays this ball in, and Simone Charlie does so well to keep herself on side, and Elizabeth Ball doesn't need to go to ground there. Gotten herself in some precarious positions throughout this season that allows Charlie to be able to get on the end of this, but AD French coming up big again, makes herself big, denies the opportunity, keeps it tied at 0.
And Charlie has such good balance. There was a play earlier where she could have gone down. There was some legs in front of her. She stayed on her feet. She wants to score tonight.
Well, it's her positioning as well. As soon as Spencer gets turned and gets her head up to play the ball in, Charlie's sitting right on the back shoulders of Kansas City's back line, just finds a bit of space between the outside back and Elizabeth Ball.
Endo, Weatherholt, Spencer.
Elizabeth Ball did everything right, just make sure that she stays even, but just at the last minute decides to go to ground, just misplays. Gives Charlie the opportunity, forcing A.D. French to have to come up with a big save. And it's those little moments that have caused Kansas City to have to, like, now chase and try to get points early on in this season.
Hamilton draws a foul. Alexis Loera. Headed clear by Spencer. Free kick given. Kristen Edmonds commits the foul on June Endo, the 21-year-old from Japan, already 21 caps for Japan. Came over from Tokyo Verdy Beleza before Angel City FC this season. Haracic will restart for Angel City. Spencer. McCaskill, good turn. Off to the left for Kristen Press. Press to the end line. Press, and it's cleared by Ball.
And that's the exact ball from McCaskill they should be looking for, because Press getting faced up. That is a mismatch right now between her and Nolf. I'd be looking for that all day if I was Angel City.
They start to Lucy. The delivery a bit rushed. It's a goal kick to Kansas City Current. Played left back last week. Ali Riley is not all the way back. She's available off the bench tonight. The New Zealand captain. But she is available on the team sheet. Back from injury.
And Matt, you also have to think that that is also a bit of a reward for Lucy and how good she was.
Another diagonal. Here's Press. Excellent. But Nolf uses her body well to earn a goal kick.
Yeah, and Lucy was so good against Trinity Rodman and the Washington Spirit. First time that she played in the left back position. And then with Ali Riley not being fully back, rewarding Lucy again in this position. And Freya Coombe even said it, maybe a little bit of competition now, at least being able to rotate players around, giving players rest when needed. You see typically an attacker has been really good as that central forward early on in the Challenge Cup for Angel City.
Great scenes around Bank of California Stadium. As we mentioned, over 15,000 season ticket holders. Professional soccer missing from Los Angeles for years. It's back in 2022 and the fans have responded. Spencer. Well read by Edmonds. Spencer picks it back, but it's a free kick coming to Kansas City. We mentioned Kansas City sometimes last week against Orlando, trying to build too much. How have they been in the build phase tonight on the road at Angel City?
I think great. And in fact, though, they haven't had to build up that much because they've gotten their pressure higher up the field. Done a good job of absorbing Angel City when they start to get a little bit of rhythm in their attacking third. Done well, though, just to alleviate pressure when needed.
Throw incoming far side for Angel City FC. Edmonds right there next to Charlie.
In these last 10 minutes for Angel City, starting to find a bit more of McCaskill in the midfield, then finding Press, getting isolated 1v1. Have to continue to put the pressure on late in this half.
Thrown to the corner, Charlie. Cleared central. First time from Lucy, cleared by Ball. Spencer McCaskill operate on the right channel against Edmonds. McCaskill's in. McCaskill on her left. France watches it wide.
And McCaskill does such a good job of just reading the momentum of Edmonds, realize that Edmonds giving her the inside, takes it all the way, and just pulls it just wide of the goal right there. Cuts inside, gets it onto her left foot. Decent look from McCaskill, she's fallen away. Best opportunity so far for Angel City.
Last year with Racing Louisville, there's Freya Coombe, first year head coach with Angel City FC. Swap coast from Gotham to Los Angeles. Nolf is down right in front of the coach's area. Helped to her feet by Desiree Scott, the captain. And Lori, I think it's another example tonight of the road teams playing well this week in the NWSL. We saw Houston go to Portland today, win 2-0. Midweek, Orlando winning at North Carolina for the second time ever. Anything you make of the road teams having better success recently in the NWSL?
Nothing other than that it's just been a chaotic start to the regular season, and just shows the parity of this league, and that at any given moment you have to be ready to show up, put a good 90-minute performance together. And teams are going to match up with other teams better than others. So no matter what, have to be ready and have a good execution of your game plan.
A lot of two-city road trips for some of these teams this week. Washington was at Portland midweek. They'll be at OL Reign tomorrow. San Diego lost midweek. In Louisville, they get a chance tomorrow against North Carolina. Ball against Charlie. 7-on-7 all night tonight in the first half.
And this has been a really good matchup between Ball and Charlie up top. Both of those players going at it.
It's a free kick for Angel City FC. Savannah McCaskill will deliver. Kansas City gets organized. Lucy offers an option for McCaskill. AD French organizing her box.
But Gilles and Press, Charlie just won this free kick. Those will be the targets.
Crowd coming to life at Bank of California Stadium. McCaskill service, knocked down. Ricaro gets there first. Endo clips it back. Weatherholt, central header. Lucy. Endo looks for space on her left, blocked by Ball. Good position from Ball. She kept her hands behind her back. That was really well hit by June Endo.
Yeah, it was excellent defending from Ball, just to make sure that she doesn't give any sort of handball up. But Endo doing a really good job. I haven't called her name a ton in this match so far, but when she gets in and around the 18, her ability to be able to cut inside, see if she can get a shot on frame.
Headed straight in the air, it's gonna bounce. Charlie will nod it towards Press. She'll take a touch, looking for room, it's Christian Press. Laid it back for support, Spencer gets there. And Scott will push it wide for Hamilton. Here comes Kansas City. Bending ball for Elise Bennett. Elise Bennett stays on her feet, but she's called for a foul.
And I think at those moments, if you're Kansas City, you have been on defense, you haven't seen much of the ball in possession. Elise Bennett has to check back, be a target for Kristen Hamilton instead of looking to get in behind. Well organized defensively for Angel City on that last play. Just look to connect, keep possession, allow for more players to get higher up the field. See if you can get another opportunity on goal if you're Kansas City.
I like the recognition in this first half from Maddie Nolf. They're the road team, but when she's had moments on throw-in, she's playing quickly, pushing the tempo, understanding that Maybe you can find Angel City napping a bit in those transitional moments.
Well, and it goes back to what we talked about earlier too, just understanding your role, players being able to come in and fill a void in those situations. And Nolf has done really well with her positioning. Again, as you mentioned, Matt, just the tempo at which she's playing. I still feel like there's opportunities, though, with her only having 11 minutes under her belt, not a ton of playing time, that Kristen Press can still get isolated 1v1.
Great turn from Hamilton. Hamilton's on her left. Her shot blocked by Danny Weatherholt. Hamilton shouted for a handball. Looked like the arm was close to the body from Weatherholt. Clean block, in your opinion?
Yeah, clean block.
Hamilton's been lively tonight. She was excellent in the Challenge Cup. 5 goals in this year's edition. As Kansas City won the Central Division, made the semifinals. Another corner kick coming, good work from Elise Bennett to earn that corner kick. Vanessa Gilles disagrees with the decision.
And even though they're upset, Angel City, with some of these calls and not be able to find a ton of rhythm in possession, have to keep their composure, make sure they're touch tight on this corner kick. Only 3 minutes left to go in this first half.
Good delivery, knocked down and cleared. Scott gets there. Scott clips it towards goal. Goal kick coming to Angel City. Very consistent service quality, in my opinion, in this first half. Alexis Loera from these corner kicks. Haracic will play it short on this goal kick. Lucy has space on the left side. Nolf in front of Press. Pickett. McCain. Lost possession. Good pressure there from Angel City with Lucy, supported by Ruggiero. 44 minutes gone. Good chances on each side. Excellent save, TD Haracic, to deny a free kick from Alexis Loera from about 25 yards away. And on the other end, A.D. France stood up Simone Charlie, who had the best chance of this first half for Angel City FC.
Yeah, some good end-to-end action. Both goalkeepers coming up with big saves. And then really outside of those two opportunities, not a ton for either side. We saw McCaskill trying to cut in on her left side, just pulls that one slightly wide. But nothing that's really testing either goalkeeper.
So Hamilton there, she brings the championship pedigree. 3-time NWSL champion, 1 with Western New York, 2 with North Carolina. She was second 11 in the NWSL in 2019. Came over in a trade last year from North Carolina. No stoppage time in this first half. Scoreless in the first ever meeting. Haracic kept it scoreless with her save against Loera. And Lori, your thoughts on the first 45 minutes?
Yeah, good, entertaining 45 in action, both teams with energy. I thought the first 20, Kansas City came out as the better team, but then Angel City would be able to settle in, starting to get more of the ball and some better looks on goal.
A good atmosphere once again from Banc of California Stadium. After 45 minutes, it's scoreless. Angel City FC and Kansas City Current